You are able to see it clearly? My your let me just share my screen. We'll see. Noise cancellation is there. Hello, Fola. You are able to see my screen?
We can see your screen, but it's small.
Is it small still?
Yes.
Okay, let me slide to the slide where we are discussing. Then we'll see. I'll increase it.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about document analysis. We started. Let me just get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the one. You are able to see my screen. Is it okay now?
I mean, for me, it's okay. I don't know if is that okay.
Ifi, is it okay, Ifi? Ifi, are you there?
Yeah, she's there. She probably muted herself out and she didn't know.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, is it
Yeah,
okay? Are you able to see my screen?
I'm seeing it.
Okay, I am just on the move. As Paula was mentioning, I had little difficulty to get into the link. That was the first problem. But now it is okay. You are able to hear me, no, properly?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we'll continue. Right. If you remember, yesterday we were discussing about the elicitation of requirements and collaboration. So that is where we were talking about stakeholders also. Now there are different techniques that we use for elicitation and collaboration. Collaboration. At the end of the day, what you look at elicitation and collaboration is capture the requirements of stakeholders, and then the same thing you should be able to document, take it to proper closure. That means you may have to give the solution, everything. For that, you would require collaboration to happen. Follow, you had a chance to go through the points. Any doubt you had?
I'm sorry, I've not had a chance. I'll promise to go tomorrow.
No problem. No problem. But just
Thank you.
go through, and in case you have any doubts, we'll go through that again if required. Okay. Now comes to document analysis. So document analysis will help you. What is the advantage of that? Strengths of document analysis is elicit business analysis information, understand the context of a business need, understand the solution currently being implemented, validate findings from other illustration efforts, engage effectively with stakeholders. So that's how we look at the document analysis. The limitations are wide range of sources make it time consuming. Outdated documents may cause confusion. See, whenever you are trying to understand the requirements, document analysis is one good source. But parallelly, what happens is, like I was mentioning yesterday, people may dump lot of documents before you. We had a good experience in when we were doing this hospital implementation. No, whenever you do hospital implementation, the existing application we had they were talking about 465 reports. Can you imagine 465 reports for a new system? They just dump that these are the reports being available in the existing system. You may have to give it in the new system. Now, who has to go through those 465 reports? Who has to classify them? What is required? What is not required? These are all big challenges when you do implementation. So, document analysis, it looks fine, but if everything is proper and they are apt, then it will be fine. Yeah, that is optimized documentation, document analysis is fine. But if you have a dump of large number of documents, it will be confusing. Are you with me, Fola?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because I may ask a few more times compared to
I'm
earlier.
I'm I'm here to I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here. You
yeah,
don't use to ask
just
if I
to,
understand
uh,
you.
uh, yeah, yeah,
It's
just to
not
ensure
proper.
my communication is proper. That's the only thing. Okay, right.
No, you don't
Mm.
ask if you whether she understands. You just read and be
Okay,
going. Ask
right.
Fola. Do you understand? I'm here to please, okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the other part is the document analysis. What are the elements that we look at? Elements are you have this preparation, document review and analysis, record findings, and see the record. So we are in the conduct. Sorry, one second. I'm just looking for the elements of instruction. So elements of document analysis, you can see preparation, document review and analysis, and record findings you have to record. So the preparation is first you need to pick up source documents which are relevant. Like what I said, when you get dump of too many documents, you need to classify them. The another important thing that happens in the case of hospitals, because as I said, more I would be talking about hospital examples as I implemented in multiple hospitals. So now, when you go to hospitals, what they do is whatever physical documents that they use, they'll give you the scanned copies of those documents, because those documents you need to analyze and ensure that you have to get that into new system. Now, what happens in that is again classifying those documents and understanding each word in those documents become a major issue. So that's where the question here is you have to pick up the source documents which are relevant and which are current and has data or information required. So you cannot pick up all the dump of documents which are not very much important for you. So this is the challenge that you have to look for, because stakeholders, if they are able to do that classification and give you relevant documents, you may be it becomes easy. But if stakeholders are not giving you that, it becomes a cumbersome thing. Your planning also should be done accordingly. So that's the preparation. What if?
Excuse, please increase your
Yeah,
screen, please. I can't see it.
yeah, I'll increase. I'll increase. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay now? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now the document review and detailed review and recording of the notes is important. See, now we are talking about documents which are relevant, current, and has data or information. That is one thing that you need to ensure. And then you need to do detailed review and record the notes and identify conflicting or duplicate notes. This is a big challenge. Basically, as I said, multiple documents you get, you should be able to avoid them, avoid the duplication, and then even if you whatever notes that you picked up, also duplication in that you have to eliminate and get the relevant information. Right. The third one is record findings. Appropriate level of details you have to record and present information to improve understanding. So that's what you need to look for. So whenever you get documents of multiple types, you have to first split them. You have to comprehend those documents. What we used to do is we get a dump of, say, it will be like around 1,000 documents you may get in a typical large hospital. So now you need to look at what are the documents which they are currently using, what can come into the system, what cannot come into the system. And in that also, what is already available, information that is already being captured in the system, information that has to be captured, that should be captured in the system, information that need not be captured in the system. So like that we classify, so that the job becomes much easier. Are you with me, Fola, in document analysis? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. Thank you. So let us get into another type of technique, which we can see, observation technique. See, these are all each technique that you can use. What are the strengths? What are the limitations that are given? Observation is, see, effective observation is very important for understanding any requirement. Again, I'll take the example of how hospitals work and what observation we do. Normally, when you go to stakeholders asking for the requirement, they tell what they are doing, and in that they may miss a lot of things. Suppose if we go and sit with them and see what they are doing, we will find many more things what they miss. See, generally what happens is, I
Sorry,
we had
excuse
an
me.
yeah.
Sorry, I just posted a question into the messages. I
Sorry,
just posted
question
it.
you
I
posted a
posted
question.
the
Yeah,
yeah, I
let
posted
me
the
just
question.
yeah
Yeah.
let me just put that question. One
Well,
second.
I just because it happened yesterday. It was part of the things I felt.
One second.
I don't think he heard you when you complained just now.
I felt yesterday that I wasn't among the people that they were teaching. That was particularly why I
And
also.
then maybe sometimes you don't hear, because I know at a point yesterday, if you go back to the recording, he was asking you so many times, you were not responding. At a point we thought maybe you were talking and you didn't know we were not
That
hearing.
was the ending. That was when I left. I told you I had an emergency.
Oh,
I
okay.
left, and
Oh,
if I was,
you were still showing that you were
I
on.
was, I was on, but I wasn't there again.
So we didn't know because he kept asking Ify, are you there? Ify, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
That was at the end. He
Mm,
didn't ask me from the beginning.
okay.
I'm just
Well,
trying to see the message. One second. I think I'm missing the message.
it's on the chat, on the call chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, one second, one second. Just whether I can get that.
Hmm.
It's notes. Would you mind mentioning that notes, that point, Paula? Somehow I'm not
So,
able to see.
so what we're saying is, if he complained
Uh,
some minutes back that you don't ask her if she understands, you only ask me, and she feels
Oh,
like
okay.
she's not a
If
part
he
of the class.
no, 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 no. I ask multiple times. I only problem is because you are doing multitasking. I just thought I will not trouble sometimes, but I keep asking for whether you could catch. Even in the beginning, I asked. No, there is nothing like that. I'll do that. Okay, thank you for that. But I'll talk to you. I'll address you also. Right. Okay. Where am I? Am I? This one is missing now. Give me a minute. Sorry, I think it just got. When I was searching for that message, this missed. I'll try to open this again. Yeah, you're able to see this, no? If you now I if you got it, observation. If are you there?
Yes, I got you.
Okay. See, I was mentioning about observation. See, observation is a big tool like document analysis. When you want to elucidate the requirements, observation is another important technique. Observation basically is like what I was mentioning in hospital management. When we go for implementation in hospitals, when we ask stakeholders, though they tell what they are doing, they don't remember all problems. They don't elicitate all possibilities. They will only tell few things and they miss. I'll give you an example here. Say we were implementing in a multi-specialty, multi-location hospital. It's a chain of hospitals. So they had a requirement that once patient gets registered in one place, she need not be registered in another place. Are you with me? If we what I said?
Yes.
Okay. So once she registered, she need not get registered in another place. Now what happens? The possibilities I'll tell you. One, a person has got patient has got registered in one place. She comes immediately to next place. See, our general assumption would be that day she may not come to other hospital. So other location she may not come. But there is a chance that for some reason she went to the other location immediately. Now that should have got reflected in the other location that she is already registered. So that's number one point. Number two is, suppose she has come for not as a consultation, outpatient consultation. She has come to the first for the first visit. She has come for picking up only lab investigation. Some other doctor has prescribed lab investigation and suggested the patient to go to this hospital and get the test done. So she has come here without a consultation. If she is taking lab investigation, then they would not take the registration fee. They would take it only next time when the consultation happens. Now, this is the second possibility where it will fail. There is a third possibility that happens. There is a third possibility that happens where the patient has got admitted on the first visit. When inpatient is there, when the patient gets admitted, registration fee is automatically taken care. So next time when the patient goes anywhere, registration fee should not be collected. You got all the possibilities, if we what I said?
Yes.
Okay. Fola, you also got it, no? All the points that I mentioned.
Yeah, sorry. So what are you describing now? Are you talking about participants may alter? I mean, what points are you using this example?
Observation. I am talking about observation. What is the
Observation.
importance of observation? Observation as
Okay.
a technique when you are eliciting. When you are eliciting
Oh,
requirements, observe
observation.
rather than
Okay.
see if we go and ask stakeholders
Mhm.
for the requirements, they give
Okay.
requirements, but they may not be able to specify everything.
Okay.
Right. In
Okay.
that case, see, if I come to you, you are working in accounts. If I ask you to tell what you are doing, you will tell few things. But if I observe what you are doing and then ask questions, you will tell me more. Yes or no?
Okay. Okay. I'm clear now. Sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm telling you the possibilities. See, now I have told you that we have got a requirement saying that if a patient comes to one hospital, one branch of the hospital, and she goes to another branch, she should not be asked for registration fee again. Now, but the registration fee should be collected only once. So normally what we think, once the patient comes to one place, registration fee is collected. In the second place, registration fee is not collected. Now I am telling you the other possibilities. The other possibilities is registration fee is collected only when patient visits a doctor, not when patient just walks into for some other service. Suppose if the patient has come for only laboratory investigation, now registration fee is not collected. You got my point, Fola?
Yes, yes.
So these possibilities they may not be able to tell fully. So we had a big trouble in getting all possibilities. So unless you ask them, you observe what is happening. Suppose you are at a peak time in the hospital, you can observe all these cases. If you are not there, if you are not observing, then you may not get all these cases. Or you should have experience and inquisitiveness to figure out all the cases. So that's where you asked me earlier, I don't have experience, what do I do? So if you don't have experience, you don't get all these points. But the question in such cases is, you should have good observation technique. You got it,
Yes,
Pola?
Yes.
That's
yes.
right.
So, okay.
So you can view and understand activities. You job shadow. Job shadowing, understand what is meant by job shadowing? Do you understand what is meant by job shadowing? It is
Yeah,
like
just
I'll do,
yeah.
yeah, I'll do whatever you are doing. So if I job shadow, whatever you are doing, I'll do parallelly. Then what happens? I'll get all the possibilities. Okay.
Mm.
Right. Approaches active, noticeable, active or noticeable, or passive or unnoticeable. You can as well do observation actively with their notice, or you can do without their notice also. You can observe. You can just casually go as a friend, you go and sit with them, wait, get into a normal conversation, keep watching what they are doing. That is one thing that I used to do many times, where they don't even realize that I am looking at their job. So I sit with them, I go on friendly talk I'll do, and I keep observing what they are doing. So that's how also you can do. It is up to you how you want to do. And if you have got a permission, you can do with permission. You can sit along with them and see what are the activities they are doing, and you note down. If you have got good observation capacity, you can figure out all the possibilities. And the idea is the third point is that only gain realistic and possible practical insights of what they are doing. But this has a problem that it will disrupt. Sometimes you go and talk to them, some people will get annoyed. You got that point? What is the limitation? If we,
Exactly. Thing.
Yes, I
yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
if you go and talk to them, they get irritated. So you
Yeah.
should manage in such a way that they don't get irritated. So that's a difficult task. All people are not same. Some people will easily get irritated. The participants may alter their work. They can also do this. Another problem. They may show up in such operators. Their problem is they will be worrying that you may report something, because this naturally happens when we, after seeing what they are doing, when we go to conference room and for a meeting, then we tell that your people are doing like this. There is a mistake that is happening. So these are the common things that come up. So we cannot hide also. Sometimes we may come up with all that. So they will be afraid that their practices, what they are doing, if they are doing something wrong, that would be reported. So they change what the way that they are doing, that activity also they may change sometimes. That's another problem. See,
So,
if it is knowledge,
which,
yeah.
sorry, which will you say is more effective? Document analysis or observation? Personally, I want to say document analysis.
No, no. Document analysis will be effective when you have more knowledge and you have more patience to go through all the documents. Because the documents you cannot analyze unless you got the support from the customer and somebody is sitting with you. Because some terminology you may get confused. That's very difficult because I'm not saying that is right. That is required for, because where your stakeholders are not able to explain, then documents will definitely help. So you should have both are collaborate. You should have both will complement each other. It's not that observation is the best one or this one document is the best. So you require documents also and observation also. The first thing, as I said, we collect documents from customers. We go through that also, and we do observation also. Both are required.
Okay, so
Got it?
like so currently I work for an hospital. It's Emory Healthcare, and they
Okay.
have it's a group of Emory's. The Emory group has about 5 hospitals and nursing home and all that with 20,000 employee. And I remember we
Okay.
just transitioned from JD Edwards to SAP. And you can
Oh,
imagine in
excellent.
an hospital, yeah, an hospital where you have 20,000 employees with doctors and, everybody, accounting team and all that. So, and we do have documentation of our processes. Now,
Very
when we
good.
were going to
Very good.
switch from JDE to SAP, I know that most of the time, all the consultants doing the implementations with the analysts, everybody, we're all going through all our documentation of our processes because, like you said, I thought it was more effective for them, especially in accounting, for us to let them go through our accounting processes and procedures and documentation, because really that's how they
That's
will
right.
learn what the
Yeah.
currency is. So, and that's why I said sometimes observation may not be as effective. Like it will be hard for you to get a doctor into get the attention of a doctor to, or for example, to tell you what they are doing in their processes. But if you have the documentations that they are using, they may want to just go look through these documents and do an analysis. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That it may the
Excellent.
size of the project may also determine if you want to just sit with document analysis, because there may not be time for observation.
Okay, let me tell you now. See, for
Mhm.
getting basic versions of what kind of vouchers come, what is the chart of accounts, and what are the accounting practices, all that is fine. Now, when it comes to billing, you have positive flows in a document analysis. It will be very good. You should always look at what is the negative flow. What if condition? Negative flows, you understand? You understand what I meant by negative flow?
No, I don't.
The positive flow is, suppose I give you, I take a service and I pay you money. That is positive. Now, after paying immediately, I'll ask for refund. I'll fight with you. I'll say, you cancel the service because the service is not good. Repay me the total amount. What do you do in such case? Do you repay? You don't repay? And if you have to repay, how do you repay? Now, if while repaying, I paid by credit card. Do you pay me cash or refund it to credit card? These are all the negative scenarios. You got my point.
Yes. Mhm.
In documentation, you can't find all negative scenarios. Nobody would document it. Am I right or wrong?
I would have expected every process to be documented, every process.
That is
That's
ideal. Ideal.
vision.
Yeah,
Ideal.
yeah. He was he's just saying that the negative things
Yeah.
they don't document it, but you can observe. You can get the negative things through observation.
Yeah, that's right. Nilesh. True,
Okay.
Paula,
Mhm.
you are right in saying that you go by document and you write all possible negative scenarios also. But what if the existing system they have not documented all? That is a question. You got my point, Paula? You're there.
I get your point. It's just the way I work. Like when the time that I was doing implementation, I get to a department, we want to implement a software. What we ask them to do, each person, we ask them to give us a detailed documentation of their day-to-day
That's
processes, like a flow chart. And because there's really no time to sit with them and observe them. So we based on what they have documented is what we move forward with.
That's right. That is there is nothing wrong in that. That is the best way. that you can do. But question comes, if you don't have that choice, if you don't have that kind of documentation in the existing system, then
Mhm.
you may have to rely on observation and developing the system. So if the existing system has got all the processes, you don't need to worry about it. You can go ahead and implement. Now what happens is the onus lies on the customer. If something they have not documented, the onus is on the customer, right?
Right.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, it depends upon the approach that you are taking. See, you
Mm-hmm.
are taking the total bonus, or you still depend upon the customer. If there are problems, you can just tell them that we are not responsible for the transactions or transaction types that you are not documented. We can only address scenarios what you have documented. That's how you take the exception and go ahead, right?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. No, no. Observation, you have defined the objectives of observation. Prepare, these are all elements in observation. Prepare for observation, conduct observation session, confirm and present observation findings. So this is depending upon the scenario. If you have got everything documented well, you can go ahead with that. Some scenarios, sometime at least may not be accounts related, or in the case of billing, you may have to see once. So in that case, you observe that specific scenario. You can as well prepare for that. You document your findings. You present the findings. That's how you use this observation technique. Right. Next another technique is brainstorming. These are all not mutually exclusive. Fola and Ifi. Ifi, you're there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. These are not mutually exclusive. So these are the techniques that you use depending upon how you want, when you want, you use it. If some technique you don't want to use, no need to use. But what these are the techniques available for our illustration of requirements. Okay. Right. Now comes brainstorming. What are the strengths of brainstorming? That's the reason we are putting this strengths and limitations. You can choose depending upon your scenario what is required for you. Now, brainstorming is because it always helps you if you got knowledge people, functionally knowledge. If you talk to them, and then if you put a brainstorming session, so that you can come up with the solutions for any particular requirement. First of all, to give any solution, you need to understand what is the requirement. I think I don't know whether I told you or not. Einstein statement. Einstein told, if you give me a problem, and if you give me 1 hour time for solving the problem, I would spend 55 minutes on understanding the problem and 5 minutes on solving the problem. You got it, Ifi?
Eh, Yes, I got what you're saying, but please, can you increase
Yeah.
your screen small?
Yeah, I'll do that. Ola, you got what I said, Einstein statement?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Yeah, this is basically what happens is you should understand the problem first, then the solution. So to understand the problem, also you need to do brainstorming. What exactly? Because as I said, the particular requirement, what I told you earlier about registration. If I have to get all scenarios about the registration, I need to have at least 2, 3 people who can come up with what are the points. If it is absolutely, if it is clearly documented, then you don't have a problem. If they are not clearly documented, you need to have this kind of technique where they come up with all possible scenarios. You would ask them, please tell me all possible scenarios. Then if 2, 3 people are there sitting, if one doesn't tell, the other fellow will think and tell, oh, you missed this scenario, how about this scenario, how about this scenario. So you can document all the scenarios. So produce numerous ideas and a diverse set of options in a short span of time. That's what brainstorming gives you. Focus on the topic or problem. Encourage participants to use new ways and foster creativity with a non-judgmental environment. If have you ever understood the creative thinking? Have you heard of this word, creative thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, creative thinking is something. Suppose if I give you an environment where you have to think about the same subject, you will come up with multiple ideas. So for this, what we generally do in a room, suppose we have blue items. What happens is those blue items are there, blue color items are there in that room for long. You have observed one, you would not have even noticed so many blue items. So when we say, please specifically figure out where are the what are the blue colored items there, you will spot all the items. So that's how your brain can be focused on one particular topic, so that you get more ideas. So now in this case also brainstorming, if you are clear, if you are not biased, you can ask them to identify all the ideas related to one or two points and get that clearly documented and move on. So that's how you do. It is possible that in a short span of time you get more information. You are with me, Ify?
Yes.
Okay. And again, this is effectiveness depends upon individual creativity. Somebody who is the BA, business analyst, if she can manage well, so this will work out well. If she is dumb, suppose she is not able to ask anything, she is just relying on what they say. After 2 minutes, everything stops. Nobody will talk. So only one of the guy who is interested may say few words, and after that no contribution. But the business analyst, if she is able to churn out, she is able to moderate it very well, and she is able to get all the requirement. She is able to manage thinking of individuals. So then it becomes much easier. You get more ideas. Paula, you are with me? Even for your accounting thing, this will help you
Yeah.
brainstorming. Because
Yes.
yeah, there will be a lot of vouchers and voucher numbering, especially when you are developing sequence numbering. So that you cannot go by document alone. So suppose what if they want to change the numbering that they were following so far, especially voucher numbers and other things. So if they want to change the numbering, you have to brainstorm and come up with one particular way of doing it. Are you with me?
Yes.
That's right. So that's where you can use this technique. And the individual capacity and willingness to participate. Because even if you are putting, say, 5 or 6 people in a room and you ask them to talk, if they don't talk, what do you do? So if they say they have got some other compulsion and they just decided not to give you any information, then if they decide like that, then you will not be able to do anything. So that's how the problem is. It depends upon individual capacity, and it depends upon the willingness to participate. So these 2 points you need to observe in case of brainstorming. So what are the different elements in brainstorming? Again, preparation. You will have the session and you come up with write up. We discuss these points that you have to your preparation. Basically, you need to look at what you want to discuss, what is the area of interest, and you should put the time limit also. Identify participants, establish evaluation criteria also, because that's important. Like if you are going to talk about what is the numbering that you require for different documents, so you need to first pick up who are the from accounting. Generally, what we do is in case of hospitals, we pick up the finance guys, we pick up the administrators, we pick up people from functional areas. Like if I am looking at procurement, I'll go for purchase team. If I'm looking at billing, I'll go for billing guys, billing manager or something like that. So with all their help, we'll do the number discussion on numbering, how it has to be done. Yeah, because like there'll be some limitations in the existing system, say JD Edwards. Now when you have characters, 12 characters, even if you have got capacity in SAP for producing 20 characters and numbering IDs for documents, the limitations come like for a laboratory number, if you have put 20 characters, many of the laboratory equipment may not be able to scan beyond 12 characters. So you have to discuss all these things. You got it, Fola?
Yes, I got you. Thank you.
Especially hospitals. When you are migrating, because you are talking about hospitals, so you should look at from all perspectives. So if you are producing a number which produces a barcode, that barcode is not read by barcode scanners, then it's a problem. You got it?
Yes.
That's good. Now there is collaborative games is another technique. Collaborative games is another technique that we use. So what is collaborative games? Any idea? Why do you need to play game for getting any ideas? Collaborative games. You understand what is collaboration, right? If we
Yes.
collaboration is like if you are alone doing something, your contribution could be say
Sorry, when
one,
you get to any screen, just try to increase it because
yeah, I'll do it. Okay,
yes, so that I
that's fine.
can
So
follow with you.
if you are doing if you are doing any job on your own, suppose you may be able to do that in 8 hours. If you collaborate with somebody, it will improve the efficiency. Instead of one work, you may do two works or three works with the other person. If two persons together, you may produce instead of two jobs, you may do three jobs also or more. So that depends upon how you collaborate. The same way, when you are trying to get some requirement understood, so you can play collaborative games. Games in the sense, suppose if I give some point, and we can put this way: you put people in room, you say whoever contributes more ideas on this topic, I'll give you. I mean, they'll be rewarded. They'll get one certificate or they'll get some money, whatever. So these kind of collaborative games will help you to come up with ideas much faster. Got it? Hello?
Yes.
If you got it, no? Right.
Yes, I heard.
So you need to for this also it is see now the what are the strengths of collaborative games. This encourages collaboration in building common understanding. Suppose I am this numbering example I am giving. So numbering example is where you need to everybody has to understand, everybody has to think because if I don't have a lab guy, I would not get an idea that the number may not work for lab equipments. So we have to encourage everybody to come up with ideas where it will fail. So now some people will say, please break it where you can, especially in the case of software. Have you heard Fola? This you might have heard somewhere. So break this code and let me know. Especially quality guys, they will find out if where it fails. You heard it, Fola? You there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I didn't get
Yeah.
that
So sometimes
question.
you may ask, please let me know where it breaks. Okay, so that
Oh,
in
okay.
such case, in such cases, you can see whoever can break this code will be rewarded.
Oh no,
So,
never heard of
uh,
that.
okay, that's fine, no issue. But this is a possibility. So when you are looking at when you are making this numbering, especially when you go to hospitals, when you are figuring out what should be the document number, you can always ask them, please come up with where it can fail. And end of the day, your goal should be, it should not escape from planning stage and fail at execution stage. It should not fail at execution stage. At planning stage only, you should be able to figure out. So you can ask people to come up with where it can fail and why it can fail. If that statement is correct, if that person can come up with an idea, with a scenario where your thought, your solution will fail, you can always reward that person. So that's how it is. The collaborative games will help encourage collaboration and building common understanding. That's all. By putting that challenge, you can always get a good understanding. Common understanding will come. Now it also follows the adaptive methodology, agile concept. Like you are building something, if you can quickly get what where it will fail, you will ensure that the solution is right. It doesn't fail at the execution. You can always set rules for focusing on the objectives. Whenever you are playing the collaborative games you are planning, so you can get on the objectives what you want. You can set rules to focus on the objectives so that your it is these games are effective.
So are you saying that it's not a
Mhm.
good collaborative games cannot be used in predictive?
Sorry, laboratory.
It's not. Are you saying that we can't use this in a predictive environment? Because when you said it follows adaptive or agile, so I'm wondering
No, no,
why.
you can use, yeah, you can use in predictive. See when you are doing this, what happens is that becomes automatically agile. There is nothing like, see, when you are saying that, you come up with idea, I'll fine tune my solution. See, if you are giving more time for them, when you can, instead of saying that, okay, you tell me now itself, as we go along, please figure out. I want it to, I want to fail my solution fast. You understand this statement? Failing solution fast. If I can fail it fast, early, if I can fail my solution early, I can correct it. That is the agile methodology. Fail fast is agile methodology. So who will fail fast when you are playing these games and all? Then automatically, if you are saying these collaborative games are meant to find out where systems can fail and to make the solution robust. That automatically means that you are in an agile environment. But if it is predictive, in the beginning itself, they have to tell everything. They may not be able to tell, no? Got it, Fola? Hello? Fola, you're there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, that's
Okay.
clear.
You got that? It's automatically becomes agile. That's what I would say.
Hmm.
Right. See, these things are very time consuming. That's why we go for predictive. We don't bother about, if you want to do all these collaborative games, everything, you need to have enough time. Suppose if it is a captive environment, you can always do. If you are doing for a customer, when it is all time bound, that's where your questions are coming. When it is time bound, you don't bother about all these techniques. You want to complete the work faster. Yes or no?
Exactly. There's no room for games.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you have time for all these things? But these are
Yeah.
the techniques you can use. But if it is your captive environment within your organization, you are doing something, then you can go for such things. Not for when you are going for customers thing. People even they may laugh at you also. Some people may not cooperate also. So that environment you can't use all these things. Yeah,
If they feel like you're a bug with observation, why would they want to do cognitive games with you? They really don't have
right.
the time.
That's right. That's right. So the possibilities are very less when you are doing for an external customer. So now for this, you need to know the purpose, process, and outcome. They learn rules, generate ideas, assess and select idea. So these are all, as I said, if you are doing in a captive environment, definitely yes, these things are useful. That's where the agile or whatever process you use, it is if it is for your within the organization you are doing, you can comfortably do. For customers environment, depending upon the project type, you can as well plan for these things, but not for a regular where you have the predictive environment. Putting all these things will delay your subsequent process. You may not adapt all these things. Okay. So you can go for, let me just increase this. See, the games could be, suppose I want the product ideas. I can put a box and ask people to put ideas in that. Best idea will be rewarded. These things, as I was mentioning, if you are looking at a captive environment, these are all possible. Affinity map, identify related and similar features. And there is a fishbowl, identify hidden assumptions also. So these are all elements of collaborative games. Similar technique is workshops. You heard this IFE workshops. Anytime workshops are conducted for getting the requirements.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a common technique. Workshop is a common technique where I'll have a workshop where I'll be explaining what I am going to do. If I have a different solution like SAP, JD Edwards is running. SAP is this. SAP, I'll give a proto. I'll give a demo. When I explain everything, all the features of SAP, then people will come up with what are the gaps they are seeing from the current system. What they want to alter also, they will tell you. So based on that, you can come up with the requirements and note down and go ahead. So in this is the most common technique: focused event collaboration to achieve predefined goals, make decisions and gain mutual understanding, requires a short period of time, requires a low cost. So this is a common technique everybody uses. Are you with me, Fola? Hello?
I'm here with you, Paula.
Right. So what are the limitations?
Yes.
For these limitations are availability of stakeholders is difficult, because if you are asking for a workshop, everybody available at one shot may be a difficult thing, and success depends upon facilitators' knowledge. So how you are able to facilitate, like what I said, if you are trying to show SAP demo, and then you are trying to get the requirements, then you need to look at if SAP, the guy who is going to explain SAP, they should be very clear about that, right? So I should be
Right.
able to demonstrate SAP properly. If I can't demonstrate SAP properly, then I can't expect the stakeholders to come up with what are the gaps. So that's how this requires knowledge of the facilitator. And if you have too many participants, sometimes what happens is, can you imagine, people will call around, like when you are saying about the hospital, 20,000 users, suppose just imagine if they call 50 persons, if they call 50 persons, what happens? Fola, can you imagine this in a workshop? If they call 50 persons, what happens?
That's chaotic.
Huh? No, these things happen. These things happen. Some people will plan like that. Now you need to decide who are the key stakeholders. You need to talk to them. You need to see. We normally tell not more than 8 people. So I don't want any workshop with more than 8 people. That's not a training room. So training is different from these workshops. These workshops should have 8 people to address what are the requirements. So that is one way to you can put the limitation to the customer. Okay, you got it, Fola?
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, like, doing elicitation
Yeah.
for their process and their requirements. And I'm, I just can't think how a workshop will be effective in doing that.
No, no. For illustration workshop is a common technique people will use. See, whenever you are going for a new product, first you have to demonstrate your product to all key stakeholders. So all department people will come. Panch.
So that is you already have a solution, a product that you are trying to demonstrate to them, right?
Right. See, even if you are going for, just imagine you are implementing SAP in place of JD Edwards. Now, you have to discuss with people what are the possibilities. Why should I go for a new system? I am expecting some improvement compared to my current system. That's how I want to go for a new system. Now, when I am going for a new system, there will be n number of clashes that you get, conflicts you get. So, you need to discuss that. So, you need to conduct a workshop where you say that this is the structure that I am going to follow. In that case, either you demonstrate SAP and tell them with some other example, need not be matching to them. You will generally show with some other example. This is how the structure will be. Chart of accounts will be like this. When I post, my postings will be there like this. My batch process will work like this. All that you will explain. Now, unless you have that knowledge, you will not be able to explain. That is one problem. Second is, if there are too many stakeholders, then that also causes confusion. So, have you got this workshop idea? You never seen this?
So I
You never
understand.
heard?
So I
Mm,
understand the workshop idea, but where I'm a little bit confused, I'm sorry, is so when you said the stakeholders, let's for example now, they think they want to make their maybe sales their CRM, customer relationship management, more effective, and
yeah,
that is the need that they want.
right.
And that's when you're coming as business analysts too. So my understanding of elicitation is the points where we come into to see what they are currently doing, to observe their
Mhm.
current system and processes, so that based on our elicitation for requirements, what they are doing right now, then is when we can go back and brainstorm and then come up with, okay, you know what, this is the app or this is the software we're going to recommend. And then that will come to the workshop when you're trying to present a save. So I'm like, elicitation gathering. I thought that is you're just trying to understand what they're doing right now. So you can know what they're doing wrong and how you can go back and come up with solutions.
Right.
That's my understanding of elicitation.
That's right. This is the same thing, no? So now one is what what they are currently doing and what they are going to get also they should know. If you are not going to show your application, what you are going to give. So that may be a surprise for them. If you are always when you are going for a solution which is already we can say COP, right? They call it as COTS product. COTS product is you get out of the shelf product. Okay, so SAP, of course, it requires implementation, but there is a product that is already existing that also has some features and some limitations. You
Mhm.
should be expressing to them, otherwise they'll think whatever they say, whatever their requirements are, you're going to give all the requirements. So they will not understand the limitations. So for that only, what generally what we do in the case of ERP or hospital management system, we will demonstrate certain features, saying that this is how the your new system will be. So come up with then they will come up with okay what they are currently doing, what they expect. So that will be very clear, and then you will also tell what are the gaps, whether you can do it or not do it, feasible not feasible, any customization is required. So all that discussion will
Okay.
happen only when you are conducting such workshops.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank
Workshop need not be, you don't need, if you can demonstrate, it's fine. If you
you.
can't demonstrate, you will at least come up with how it will be. You by at least in PPT, you will show no how you are going to do this implementation. How is this same, like what I said, what are your daily batch process, how the numbering will be there, how vouchers are created, how the postings would be there, is it real time or end of the day posting, all that you need to explain.
Okay. Okay. Right. Thank you
Right.
so much. That's
Welcome.
thank you.
Yeah. So for these workshops, when you are doing now, you have to prepare, you have to identify roles, you have to conduct the workshop. Post workshop, you should distribute the outcome. You need to discuss. But as I said, in workshops, the major problem is we have seen in large hospitals, they'll bring everybody who can talk, who cannot talk, who has a role in taking a decision, who doesn't have a role in taking a decision. All these people come. So the moment you are saying that I am conducting a workshop, everybody will come. They think it is a training. That becomes a difficult thing. You have to control that. You should take only effective people. That's important. And we spoke about focus groups also earlier. If you remember focus groups?
Yes.
Yeah, focus groups basically are they themselves will discuss and come up with the requirement. Like Fola was mentioning, they give me the document, I will follow the document and implement. That is also possible. You tell them that, boss, you record all your requirements clearly. You discuss and internally and come up. That is one way. Or you can facilitate. You can create a focus group and you can give the topic and ask them to come up. Like I said, the numbering system. Numbering. How do I want to implement numbering in the new system? All the possibilities, all the possibilities in the new system, you can give them, and you can ask them to come up with what should be the numbering sequence. So when the number should get reset and how the number should look like, all that you can, how many characters it should be, should it be alphanumeric or it should be numeric only. So all that they can come up and give a solution. I mean, they can give the requirement. So this is a strength of this focus groups is interactive group environment. Pre-qualified participants should be there. Homogeneous or heterogeneous groups. Qualitative research, cost effective. Now, limitations will be trust issues in participants. More vocal participants may influence the result. These are all common problems what we get. So one or two persons will hijack the entire discussion. Then it will be a problem. And it all depends upon the moderator who can figure out how it has to be facilitated and how you what exactly you are expecting out of the group. So that we need to. These are the limitations anyway in focus groups that we need to take into consideration in depending upon the requirement. At some cases you can use this technique. So the elements will be define objectives, plan, prepare guide, assign moderator and recorder, conduct post discussion activities. This simple, I think I don't need to explain. We'll take survey and questionnaire later. These are the different techniques that I am explaining for elicitation and collaboration of requirements. Okay, Fola and Ifi, are you
Yes.
clear? Shall we take up the
Yeah.
remaining tomorrow?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome. So you are able to hear me clearly, no, today?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. No problems, right? Thank you. So I
Thank you.
can
Have a
continue
good
this.
day.
Mhm.
Good night.
Only you,
Good night.
yeah,
Thank you.
good night. Only
Thank you.
problem you would have faced is in seeing the size of the screen. That also we'll see what can be done. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay.